Breaking news from the NFL into the Fanfare newsfeed.
You breaking 2,000 yards next year? Receiving?
I will break 2,000 yards next year, bro.
Y'all heard him. He just checking stuff off his bucket list.
And all I'm going to say is 2,000 yards was on my bucket list to get, bro, before I leave this league.
Pressure? What's pressure? Tyreek comes out and makes two bold, crazy, huge guarantees before the season ever begins. One might be doable. Both might be doable. On a calm Saturday afternoon here in South Florida, Tyreek Hill completely explodes the media by coming up with two grandiose guarantees that are guaranteed to be the talk of locker rooms throughout the NFL next year. And as I'm going to play the entire 34-second clip for you, there's another huge guarantee that he puts out there as well. Take a listen.
You breaking 2,000 yards next year? Receiving?
I will break 2,000 yards next year, bro.
Y'all heard him. He just checking stuff off his bucket list.
And all I'm going to say is 2,000 yards was on my bucket list to get, bro, before I leave this league. And y'all think the Chiefs going to leave without doing something he promised himself he going to do as a jit? I got y'all, baby. 2,000 yards and another Super Bowl. We getting that. Believe that. Believe that. Thank you. Thank you.
It needed to be said.
It needed to be said.
So in addition to already being the Dolphins single-season receiving yardage record holder, he now wants to hit 2,000 yards to be the first receiver in NFL history to break 2,000 yards. And he says he wants to bring, or pretty much guarantees, that there will be another Super Bowl win for him, which means he's bringing another Super Bowl to Miami. Love the confidence. I absolutely love the confidence. I love the bravado. But will people brush this off, or will it become more incentive in a locker room for opposing teams before they face the Miami Dolphins to take what Tyreek said and help energize them for a game? It's already hit the national media. Let me show you something. This is over on Bro Bible. Tyreek Hill guarantees that the Dolphins will win the Super Bowl and a 2,000-yard season. So it's already out there. It's going to be on his back. He's going to have to perform. And as the article goes, it says Hill expresses ambitious goal of surpassing Calvin Johnson's record of 1,964 yards set in 2012 and becoming the first receiver in NFL history to reach the 2,000-yard mark in a single season, and he guaranteed a Dolphins Super Bowl win. Further down in this article, which is really important here, Hill's determination is fueled by his exceptional debut with the Miami Dolphins. He shattered the franchise's single-season receiving yards record previously held by Mark Clayton for 38 years, finishing with an impressive total of 1,710 yards. Not too far away from 2,000, just 300 yards or so. Let's continue with this article. Down here, it says, moreover, Hill's 119 catches also set a new Dolphins team record and solidified his status as one of the league's top receivers. But this is the most important part. The success of Hill's pursuit of the record will depend heavily. I wouldn't say heavily. I will say it will completely depend on the health and chemistry between he and Tua Tagovailoa. In the 2022 season, where he just fell 300 yards short, Tua missed 4 games due to concussions, which coincided with a decrease in Hill's productivity. So there should be a little asterisk next to Tyreek's guarantees. That asterisk being if Tua is healthy. If Tua is on the field, I can break 2,000 records. If Tua is on the field, yeah, we're going to win a Super Bowl. I like that confidence, but are we all confident that Tua is going to be on the field for all 17 games and take through the playoffs and possibly win a Super Bowl? Nobody knows. He's never played a full season, but Tyreek is saying it right now. And there's one other thing. Will Tyreek be on the field for the entire season? We have no idea what's happening with his bitch slap of the guy in the marina and whether or not Roger Goodell is going to step in and suspend him for any period of time. So that's a bold, bold, bold guarantee to be making here in mid-July, saying you're going to get 2,000 yards guaranteed and you're also going to win a Super Bowl. Now that you've heard Tyreek's guarantee, let's look at the single season leaders of all time in the NFL. So I've blown this up so you guys can see it. So you can see the all-time leaders here. Number one, as the article mentioned, Calvin Johnson with 1,964 yards in 2012 with the Detroit Lions. Cooper Kupp with 1,947 yards. He did that with the Los Angeles Rams in 2021. Julio Jones, 1,871 yards in 2015 with Atlanta. Jerry Rice, 1,848 yards in 1995 with San Francisco. Antonio Brown in 2015 with 1,834 yards. Justin Jefferson, 1,809 yards, did that last year with the Vikings. Isaac Bruce, 1,781 yards, 1995 as well with the St. Louis, at that point, St. Louis Rams. Let's see here. Charlie Hennigan. We're going to go way back in time here. Charlie Hennigan had 1,746 yards in 1961 with the Houston Oilers. Michael Thomas had 1,725 yards in 2019 with the New Orleans Saints. Michael Harrison had 1,722 yards with 2002 with the Indianapolis Colts. And number 11 is Tyreek Hill, 1,710 last year with the Miami Dolphins. Now, I want you to notice something on this list. If you go through this list and you see who the quarterbacks were that threw to these guys, you're looking, especially the first two receivers. The first two receivers are amazing. You got the top two all-time single-season yardage leaders in receptions, both Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp coming from one quarterback. Both those were from Matthew Stafford. That's pretty amazing. So you pretty much can see Matthew Stafford's probably going to be looking at a gold jacket in the Hall of Fame when he retires. In Atlanta, that's probably Matt Ryan. San Francisco, that's Joe Montana or Steve Young. Minnesota, that's, Kirk Cousins. St. Louis Rams, that was Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer. Charlie Hennigan, I'm not sure who threw to him. Michael Thomas, that was Drew Brees. Marvin Harrison, of course, Peyton Manning. And then number 11, Tyreek Hill, that was with Tua Tagovailoa. My point being that every single one of the quarterbacks, other than Charlie Hennigan, which I have no idea who his quarterback was, were Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks, except for Kirk Cousins. Take that as you want, but in any event, we're looking at basically everything has to go right. Tua has to stay healthy the entire season. The Dolphins have to win, obviously. Tyreek has to stay out of trouble and be on the field, but it is doable. Both of his predictions, or rather guarantees, are doable. He indeed could reach 2,000 yards in a season. In addition, we know the Miami Dolphins are Super Bowl contenders if Tua Tagovailoa can stay healthy. So both the things that he guaranteed, 2,000 yards in a season and the Super Bowl win, could definitely happen. A lot has to go right, but I don't know if you want to be the person that goes out and tells the world in July that I'm going to break 2,000 yards receiving and my team is going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know if you want to do that right now. No games have been played. Training camp hasn't even opened. You don't even know what's going to happen in this season. And you did a Joe Namath-like guarantee. It worked out for Joe Willie. It sure did in 1969. If you guys don't remember, go look and see what Joe Willie Namath said back in 1969 before the New York Jets faced the Baltimore Colts. He called his shot and they won a Super Bowl. But that was late in the season. I don't think anyone has ever called their shot in preseason. I don't recall any player being bold enough to make a statement like Tyreek just made. I sure hope it works out. I sure hope the Dolphins do indeed win a Super Bowl. I wish it wasn't so centered on him and that he wasn't worried about getting 2,000 yards as that being his driving force for this year. But if 2,000 yards come and a Super Bowl comes behind it, hey, all the better. Let me know what you think about Tyreek's bold predictions in July that he's going to get 2,000 yards guaranteed and that the Miami Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. guaranteed. Fins up.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?